morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. I'm CW. I'm with BTH&T. Got a fun little story for you. Something I found in the hospital, but I couldn't focus to read it until now. And good news. A lot of people don't like this about Tim Walz or Tampon Tim or loser that you are, Tim. He's going to be more in the news than ever. He says he's not running in 2028. Whatever. We can only hope. There are some, Jay Leno said it best. There are some politicians that are just gold. This is one of them. Okay, so we all know about Tampon Tim. I really don't like the name, but I can't think of a better one. I could call him Sergeant Major, but that would be a big fat lie, wouldn't it? I could also say, been in a combat zone veteran. Oh, caught me again, didn't you? You guys are paying too close attention. He'd be better off as a school bus driver because as a history teacher, he sucks. Okay, and anyway, let's go away. I want to show you what a real soldier does. Now, I'm not going to do J.D. Vance or vice president, nothing like that, because as you know, PBS or NPR, or I don't even know why we support those yokels. They're so far to the left. I mean, you might as well be the candy man for Dick Newbar or whatever his name is. But we need to get rid of them. Ever since they stopped airing Call the Midwife, one of my favorite shows. Loosely historically based, kind of a cute show. You can still catch it on Netflix, but national public TV used to air that because that's what your dollars went for, not crap like umbrellas and supporting Tampon Tim or just writing stories that kind of lean his way. No one's buying it anymore. You guys are all full of crap. Okay, so back to the real story. There was a guy born in Plymouth, Massachusetts in about 1760. A true patriot, by the way, true patriot. Robert Shurtleff. You're gonna have to dig him up. It's a hard name to find. I had to write it down twice because when you're on morphine, your F's kind of drop off onto the bed sheet. I'm sure that's where it was somewhere. Um, Before enlisting, he was a teacher, just like Tampon Tim. At one time, this guy was an indentured servant, which was you had to work off some of your debt. I'm not sure how it worked because he's quite young. So I don't know if he was clearing a family debt, but that was in Plymouth, Massachusetts. War comes around. He joins the 4th Regiment, Massachusetts. I'm probably saying that wrong. It's probably 4th Massachusetts Regiment. In 1782, pay attention to these dates. Troy, this is what I'm talking about. The war, though we say it ended in 1781, not quite. Got a lot of stuff. Remember, most of this stuff is done over in Europe, which you can't pick up a phone and find out what happened. You had to wait like 2, 3 months to get the word back that the war is over. Well, in 1782, Washington sent a couple of scouting parties to look for a British buildup. Because remember, if we don't know the war is over, they don't either. Uh, you'll see this occur again like at the Battle of New Orleans. No one knows what's going on, so we're still fighting a war. He was part of a couple of sergeants, Robert Shurtleff, to run a quick scouting mission around the island of Manhattan to check on British forces and buildup. During this time, this guy, Robert, was shot, wounded 3 times, never paraded around as a sergeant major, but was wounded with like a a slash across the forehead of a blade. Uh, I believe also shot at least once in the thigh, which this is this type of guy takes a penknife out and just digs it out himself. What a guy, right? Took it a little less easier the next time he got shot in the shoulder. I'll just let a doctor handle that one. I could see his point. In the leg, oh, they might cut that off. In the shoulder, well, we'll probably dig that out. Well, eventually the war is done. Everybody agrees. You know, people come back from Europe. Yeah, we're all good. You know, and they start lowering the standard army. Robert Shurtleff, discharge, October 23rd, 1783. Sorry to say this, he died later of yellow fever in 1827. But as a veteran, he received a pension from Massachusetts for his service. He had a lot of things in common with Tampon Tim. You know, being in a combat zone, taking care of yourself, being wounded. Yeah, I'm being facetious. Here's another thing that I like to find about these stories, because I have three daughters. You know what Robert's real name was? Deborah Sampson. That's right. A whole new meaning, Tim, to man up. Stop lying. Stop playing yokels. That's why the veterans are yelling at you and calling you coward, because they know. Stop playing it. Goddamn stolen valor. Nothing irritates me more. Okay, sorry. The meds aren't working too much anymore. Still doing great. Um, I think I told you, saw the surgeon. Everything looks good. Got to follow up with the cancer center the 16th. I don't know what's going to happen. Part of my support group says it's a possibility you could get radiation chemo or just chemo. My surgeon thinks maybe just chemo a couple of times. It's kind of a way to grab whatever he missed, if he missed anything. So if I look funnier a couple of times, that's the way it goes. And I'm trying to drift away from this. This cancer does not identify me. This channel goes on. I love you guys. It's good. This is why I do these things. I love finding the little stuff that just, I want my daughters to be proud of who they are. My daughters can do anything they want to. They're that tough. They know to take the friggin' spark plug wire off before they do any work on a lawnmower. So I get really tired of people who say they were in a combat zone nowhere near it, and people just let that go and then ridicule the people who take time to point it out. I think they forgot what Article 1 was, freedom of speech, which, by the way, does not include lies. Okay, I'm sorry. That's what we do on the channel. Got little stories every now and then. You don't believe me? Go ahead and look it up. Save yourself some time. But go ahead, look it up. Because there's a couple of good books you should look on that. Speaking of good books, Ascent to Power. Can't believe I found that. It just came out like in 2018 or something like that. And it was like nobody wanted to buy it. And now it's all gone. I just want to double check something because I don't want to be accused of it. 2024. Yeah, maybe I got the second. Yeah, I think I got the second print. It's used because y'all all know me. Cheap. Feeling a little better today. Can you tell? See you next time.